Hello and welcome to another episode of a Final Siren. Fair to say, a pretty tough one, Oz. We've gone down quite heavily to the Brizzy Lions. Really tough game. They came with a lot of heat and a lot of pressure, and we weren't able to match it. But we are joined by Joel Hamling. Joel, what did you think of the game, mate?
Yeah, firstly, thanks for having me. Obviously, very disappointing tonight for the club and for the supporters. I thought Brisbane all night were on top of us in most areas. Their forward pressure was great. They were a lot cleaner in the contest, and in the end, the final results we get done by the score.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you see the game being played the way it obviously played out, like you'd want to be out there. So, what are some of the things that you'd be sort of wanting to say to the boys to try and get them around them a little bit?
Yeah, considering last week we played so well, mainly our fundamentals, really. We fumbled a lot tonight. Second half with the rain, it looked promising the first 10 minutes of the third quarter there, but couldn't get on top. They're a pretty mature side. Brisbane, they've got a lot of mature players. It's a learning lesson for us. We're not out of the finals just yet, but we'll go again next week.
Is it? I mean, it's an interesting one for fans. Obviously, we ride the roller coaster as well. What it's like within the four walls when you've got games where last week we play so well, like a great game, probably nearly our best win under J-Lo against Richmond, and this week we come out and we've essentially delivered a bit of an egg there. How do you think the players respond, and is the message different from J-Lo week to week, or is it just the same message, and just is it the inconsistency just because we're a young side, do you think?
Yeah, as a player, it's the last 2 years have been really different. We've had quarantines, we've done hubs, we've been playing teams in different places. Our home games have been away. They're obviously no excuse, but these boys have been in the quarantine for 2 weeks. We've just been to the footy club and been home. Come up against a good side in Brisbane where they're doing the same thing as well. So the inconsistencies, it must be hard to come to the games and watch them and think, sometimes we're good, sometimes we're bad. What are we going to bring today? It's hard as a player as well, not playing and watching the boys. There's definitely effort there. Like I said, the fundamentals are the big things for us at the moment. Being clean over the ball, being harder for longer.
Yeah, I want to be positive here, mate. So I want to ask you the big question. Where do you see a major area of growth in the next year or so?
All over the park, really. I'm 28 now, so I'm probably in the later stages of my career. I've been here doing this for 10 years. So to see Hayden Young in the back line and Josh Tracy tonight, like it's a hard gig as a forward. He's 19 years old. Usually I lick my lips coming up against a 19-year-old. Tonight he took a few nice marks. He always presents well, crashes the contest. There's a lot of stuff to work with. Brandon Walker tonight was great. His run off halfback's been good. There's a lot of stuff to work with. And also we got a lot of guys, mature guys too, that are playing well as well. Alex Pearce is back. Griffin Logue is getting a chance now. Hopefully I'll get back there as well.
Random question, mate, throwing it out there. Freo's best backline as you see it right now versus the Bulldogs premiership backline of 2016. What do you reckon?
I'd have to say the Bulldogs. They obviously won the grand final. We had some inspirational players that day. Got Dale Morris and Matt Boyd themselves. Myself and Fletcher Roberts had about 50 games between us. So I'd have to say the Bulldogs, but God, this backline can be great for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Take a few injuries out of it. If we get a few of us guys back and we can fit for the year, we've stopped a few good teams.
Yeah.
So just talk us through the injury, mate. So essentially pre-season last year.
Yeah, it's been a while now. It's almost been 2 years. I'd just gone for a usual spoil and come down. I think I've hit Matt Tabernar's ankle and I've just sort of twisted my ankle. I had a 2-month layoff in the off season. I'd come back, trained, got through to round one, jumped and landed a bit awkwardly. And it was originally 4 to 6 weeks, which in my head I didn't really feel like that. It felt it was going to be a lot longer. Got halfway through the year, I got back to where I was, but I thought risk minimisation. I'd prefer to get surgery now than go out there and do a knee or do my ankle again. So best thing for me was to get it fixed, get it sorted. I'm probably about 4 weeks away from playing now, which touch wood, maybe a chance, who knows, but get back and ready for day one of pre-season. At my age at 29, prefer to play the next 3 or 4 years consistently. It's just the ability of the risk of injury.
Yep.
If I was to go jump and land, I miss another 12 weeks. Like, I had an ankle brace on round one, and this time I'll tape it and I'll do all sorts of stuff I can do.
Yep.
I'm super confident. It's just trying to get the mobility and range back.
Obviously, a couple of games left. Like you said before, we're still in the hunt. What do the boys have to do, like just to get over the line? We've got the Weagles next week, and then obviously the last game of the season against the Saints. Like, what do you think? What do you think we have to do?
Well, it's quite simple. We've got to win.
Yeah.
Just get back to it. It's been a long year.
Yep.
It's at round 22, is it? We're playing West Coast. No better opportunity. It's a home crowd. We get back. We beat them, and then who knows where the last game of the year will be, if it's in Melbourne, if it's here.
Yeah.
We're just going to literally try and win every game, win every quarter, go from there.
Now, Joel, outside of football, mate, you've had obviously a really long layoff. What have you been doing to just make up that time and keep yourself busy?
Yeah, I've done a lot of little things actually. I've done a diploma in list management through the AFL Sports Ready. I've done a recruiting course as well. I went and got my HR license to drive a truck. Don't ask me why. I just went and got a license to drive a truck because I want to drive a truck one day. Just little small things to keep my mind occupied. Got 10 years this year. I've been playing the league and it feels like I walked in yesterday. It goes so fast and it comes up on you pretty quick. You know what I mean? Having a long-term injury, you sort of think, what am I going to do after footy? Yeah, other than that, mate, I've just been playing a bit of golf, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Xbox.
Playing a little bit of Xbox. Game of choice, just out of curiosity?
I play PS5, so I shouldn't say Xbox.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Warzone.
Righto. Okay.
Me. We've got a good contingent of us.
Yeah.
And
good squad.
We're in quarantine a lot, so literally we go home and I pat the dog and I jump on PlayStation for I couldn't tell you how long, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Before you know it, man, you square eyes. But it's great. I always play with one of the boys, one of my teammates, and it's kind of a good bonding thing too. We're always getting smoked. There's heaps of cheese on there, but it's good.
Few sweats.
Absolutely, heaps of sweats. Yeah, for sure.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about, mate. I'm sick and away with Age of Empires 2. Shout out to anyone who plays Age of Empires 2. Mate, just your relationship with J-Lo. Obviously, he's come in, but you've been injured over the last 2 years. How is that relationship? And is it one where obviously he's looking out for the guys who are playing, or is he open and happy to chat to you and things like that?
Yeah, he certainly is. We keep in touch. He calls me probably once a month. It's pretty hard with quarantine, all this stuff going on. I've sort of stayed out of the bubble a bit so I can live my own life a bit. Most of us rehab guys have been like that, but he's been really good. I've been to his house for dinner and met his wife. I know his kids, and that role is one of the hardest roles ever. Like, got no disrespect to him, but you see him on TV and he's all gone grey. He's 39. How old is he? 39 or something? I said, look at my missus and go, God, you'd hate to be doing his job. Like, it's a bloody tough one.
God, I think, as we've said before, being a fan, you just ride that roller coaster. You're up and you're down. And as a player, you just have to be so level-headed. And, listening to you talk, and it's just, look, one game at a time, this is what we have to do. And I guess the boys have to be the same, but it must be pretty hard. And you must get despondent when you see something like that and you play that game. It's like, how are we going to recover? How are we going to play next week? But I guess that the coaches are well informed and able to get you guys up and about as well. It's not just up to you guys, but they're obviously doing their thing to help you guys get around it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the coaches can only ever do what they do throughout the week. Like, we're out there game day playing. So for us, we got to emphasize, we've got a really young squad and we got to, get our boys to the elite level.
Yeah.
Does that take extra recovery? What's that take? More training, more stuff in the off season. Eventually getting there. We've got a good young core right now. You guys can probably see that. Fans can see that.
Yeah.
The good young core. And we add components to that. Try and trade in guys or we trade out guys and we go that way. And we'll eventually get there again. It must be frustrating. God, I sit here and watch it. It's frustrating. I'm here for the long road. I'm ready to set in and get into it.
Yeah, fantastic. We might wrap it up there, Joel. Thanks very much, mate. You've been a fantastic guest, very, very open and honest, and a really great speaker. A great speaker. Look at me, I'm trying to speak, can't even do it. But mate, have you thought about doing anything in the media, mate? You're a fantastic speaker.
Not really, to be honest. I'm a bit of a humble sort of fella.
Yeah.
I grew up in the bush in the Kimberley, so it's not really my thing. I don't mind it when I have to. I sort of fight with it. I'm a pretty low key sort of guy.
Yep.
I've won a premiership. Nothing at home's got premiership stuff around the house. I don't flaunt it. I don't mind a quiet beer with my mates. It's probably one of the things I do like. But media, maybe, but I'm not sure.
Bit of time, obviously, Broomway up north.
Yeah, so I lived in Kununurra first.
Oh, yeah.
My parents moved there when I was 1.
Yeah.
They moved to Broome when I was 11.
Yep.
And then I shot off up to Perth to play in Claremont.
Tell me you're a fisherman.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, Barra?
Barramundi. Well, we've been going down to Denmark. I was born in Denmark, down south.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And my old man, before he got sick, he's got a boat, so we take that out and get jewfish.
Yeah.
But mate, the best lifestyle. I'm actually heading back there next week, back to Broome.
Oh,
For
nice.
a few days, get back up and see the family. Mum's still there.
Yeah.
It's a great part of the world.
Oh, it's beautiful.
We were actually up there. You were up there school holidays. I was up there last school holidays doing some uni stuff, mate. It's fantastic. So
people don't really understand how beautiful it is. People think, I'll pay $500 and go to Bali. But if you go to Broome, it's a bit more expensive, obviously, but it's on par. Great part of the world, and I've been to and from Broome for the last 15 years, and it's a place I always call home.
Yeah,
awesome.
I've caught everything but a barra up there.
Have you?
Yeah.
You got to go a bit higher. You got to go to Kununurra and them areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the saltwater country is, really.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Fantastic, Joel. No, that's all right. I literally don't like fishing. I don't know what it is.
What do you like?
Me? I don't know, footy and stuff like that. Talking to you guys. No, fantastic to have you on, mate. Really, really great interview, and yeah, keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully we see you out there next year in the purple. We really do miss you, key defender back there, and a little bit of a stopper and things like that. And mate, we're when we're writing down our best 22, we always pencil you into the full back role. So if we can see you play for the next couple of years and get over this ankle issue, and mate, it'll be fantastic, and you deserve it as well because you're great. You're a great bloke, mate, and that's the main thing more than anything.
Don't count me out. I'll be there. Thank you, fellas.
Beautiful.
For your time.
All right, cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right, welcome back to the Final Siren. Fantastic interview with Joel Hamling there. What a great guy.
Great man.
Really, really nice dude, eh? I was getting friend vibes off him. I'm like, this guy could be my friend. I mean, as a guy who's about to turn 33, it's really hard to make friends outside of work, isn't it, Oz, as you get older?
Let me be your man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, me and you became mates through work. No other way, mate.
True.
And,
Maybe we can take him up in the fishing charter option. I'm very excited by this.
Oh, you would be, mate. Hey, look, just on the game, look, a couple of things we need to discuss. Obviously, I think the two statistics that mattered the most in that game, and it's been something that's been killing us a bit over the last couple of weeks or month even. Tackles inside 50 odds, 6 to 25.
Yeah.
25 Brisbane had, 25 tackles inside. Insane. And just, we really need to, and I'd really love to see us go back to that 2013, 2012 under Ross where you defend from the forward back. Just to have, we're averaging 6.9 tackles inside 50 at the moment this year. That's something that, and it is structured because we are playing the big boys down there. We played Meekie as the resting forward ruckman. We had Tabs and we had the big Dick Cyclone, mate. So look, we've got 3 guys in there that are big. I mean, Cyclone Tracy, he does tackle the odd here and there. He throws his weight around, but
I love it.
It is really hard. But those other guys need to step up to the table a bit. Obviously, Collier, I thought, had an outstanding game today. Probably one of his best for the club. 3 goals. His wing work in the last quarter was really good as well. So plenty of energy there. In terms of just the play rankings, Darcy and Sarong, a really good game again. He continues to battle out there. Looks like he's been in the Crimean War with the head bandages. Love that.
Look, mate, before you go any further on the stats and so forth, go back to when you were talking about what we need to get better at. I think we just need to get better at the basics. And I think Brisbane, for the most part, were just more polished. They were harder at it in certain phases where they just really were aggressive at the ball and at the contest. And they were just cohesive, and they had a system that was back with skill execution. And that was just something that you could see. It was quite noticeable for us, quite fumbly around the contest, weren't able to hit those targets. And of course, every time the ball goes in shallow, it's coming back. But even so, when the ball was coming back quickly, of course, the back line's going to be under siege. That's why there's so many inside 50s. But what really shocked me was in that first half, that efficiency inside 50 for Brisbane was hovering around that 82% mark.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So, when you have that many kicks coming or, forward entries inside 50 and you're scoring on that many occasions, and especially the forward patterns and the leading, it was always going to be a tough day at the office for our back line. So for me, I just think, just need to get better around, the basics and just, do things that we know we can do and just be a little bit more consistent with it.
And, the Brisbane came with pressure today, and they came with a lot of pressure, and the pressure becomes perceived pressure before you know it. And that fumbly stuff is because of the pressure that they were able to bring. And their pressure meter, which on Foxtel is a made-up thing, but their pressure gauge was right down over the last month of footy.
Yep.
It's gone right back up. So, look, they've done really well there. Efficiency inside 50s odd. Oz, your average for both teams for the season is about 48%. We've gone at 30%. They've gone at 62%. And I know it was a 10-goal loss, but that's kind of the difference. They're able to go inside 50, score. We're not able to, and we go inside 50, we don't tackle. There's no, but they locked it in with their pressure and their tackling, and then they were able to convert from it, which was, it's a real thing that the Dockers can look at. And I would say it's, in a sense, it's sometimes our biggest weakness is our pressure inside forward 50, and pressuring that inside forward 50, and then you can clog it up a bit. Your repeat entries, the the defenders make mistakes because of the perceived pressure. They've got to move the ball on quickly. They kick it out, it goes out, bang, repeat entry, repeat entry, repeat entry. And you can see as well, like in that third quarter, when we did hit up those targets, those big leading targets, it actually did work pretty well for a small period. I think we kicked 3 goals in a row. We looked up and about.
A good start.
And then it's the little mistakes. And we always say this on the pod. Often with the Dockers, we've got to beat ourselves first. And that's a young side with inconsistencies. But, there was about 4 or 5 cat 10s. There's about 4 or 5 or 2 or 3 50-metre penalties. And that kind of stuff, you've got to overcome yourself before you can even think about winning the match. Like, you've got to not lose. Mike Lombardi talks about it all the time. You got to not lose for a start, and then you've got to win. You know what I mean? So those kind of things are just, they're not helping you win, and they're going towards a loss. And it's really hard because we have got a young side that is going to be inconsistent, and they're going to have their ups and downs. And I think as Freo fans, we always see these ups and downs, and we see this, this roller coaster of emotions. Last week we have such a great win. This week it's a really deflating loss. And it's really, really hard to take that as a supporter sometimes, I think. But we've got to understand that that's what we're going to get. We're going to get inconsistent performances while these guys are still young.
It's that, plus we don't want to lose sight of a team that's top 5. And they're vying for premiership. And as we've said before, we're on the road to a premiership, but we have to obviously clean a hell of a lot of things up, and we will do that as we get more experience and we work together, more often. But you can't lose sight of where Brisbane are at. And I think from a Fremantle fan's perspective, yes, we're down, we're a bit despondent, we're out of the 8, but you've got to remember who we played. And we played a team that was, again, on the rebound from a bad performance last week. And it's just the way that these things turn out. We always happen to get the teams that are bouncing back.
Media's criticising them.
They just challenge people, and Joe Danaher comes out and kicks a bag. And, it's just one of those things. And again, danger game next week. Okay, so let's talk about that. So we've got the West Coast Eagles next week. Again, look, if there's ever a salvaging moment for a season, it's to beat the West Coast Eagles. I mean, and there's an opportunity there. I mean, they haven't been in great form, and we know that our finals hopes are in our hands.
Yes.
We need to win our last 2 games, and yes, we have to hope for other games and fixtures to go our way. But if we win those 2 games, as Hamling said before, destiny's in our hands, and that's what we have to do.
Yeah, and that's it. You got to be in it to win it. And if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And to become a legend, you got to beat a legend. And, things like that. But look, now realistically, mate, that's the thing. I think there is there is that clear gap. And Duff talked about it with us even in the media box, where 1 to 6 are really good all the way down to Sydney. And then 7 to 12 are that next category, and then 12 and below, or 13 and below, whatever it happens to be. That's that. So there's 3 clear groups of teams at the moment: the category A's, the category B's, and the category C's. And I think we're in that B category, but it is really positive. Look, if we can get finals and we can make finals, which the hopes are still there. Things didn't go our way today with GWS winning and Essendon winning. That's not great. That's always because it seems like things are falling our way as well, and we just need to be able to capitalise. A big a derby win, mate, would mean so much for this group and so much for these fans. I think it's starting to become, I don't know if it is a mental thing or anything like that, but I think it's a mental thing for Eagles. Every time they step out on the field, they're like, well, we're like, none of the Eagles players probably have lost to the Dockers. There'd be very few of them, maybe Bunga and Nick Nat or something like that, Shuey. But, for us, we've only got a couple of guys. I think it's Mundy, maybe, might be the only guy who played in a derby win. There might be 1 or 2. I don't know,
might be.
Something like that. So these guys need to get over this derby, the derby demons, as I like to call them. But if we get a win, mate, it really puts a nice little sweet spot on the season. Because
just remind me, by the way, whose home game is it?
It's Dockers' home game, I believe.
So let's just, for argument's sake, let's just say we pack out Optus Stadium.
Oh, love that.
With Fremantle fans screaming and hollering for some consistency from a Fremantle perspective. Any danger? I tell you what, if we can get around this team, it's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Now, if you're sitting at home thinking, what can I do to help the team? Come on down. Here's me looking at you. Come on down to the game next week. I'll tell you, we're a red hot crack.
As if we're going to join the roller coaster ride of, things that have been going on this year, we've had the dip, mate. It's time to go back up.
It's the upswing.
It's the upswing. We're back up and about. Thanks very much for listening, guys. Big thanks to Joel Hamling for his great interview. Thank you, Oz, for being here, mate. Happy birthday for today.
Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. How weird's that, guys? We're one day apart with our birthdays. Did not think that was planned. Like, we're not twins or anything. Imagine if we were twins, mate.
Yeah, well.
Arnie and Danny. Which one's Arnold Schwarzenegger and which one Danny DeVito? That's the big thing. All right, guys, on that note, thank you very much for listening, watching, whatever you're doing. Remember to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Dockers YouTube channel as well. I know that's a thing because I watch this on YouTube, mate. I watch it back.
Nice.
I look what my hands are doing a lot of the time.
Right.
Because I do this a lot.
Right.
Rub my hands.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to... I think today I had hands in pockets. I don't know if that's a good look.
Good pose.
Yeah. Different jacket, so jacket game's going all right as well. Yeah. Mate, did you notice on this shirt, this is the detail, that's a Sharon.
Yeah.
Picks a Sharon.
It's good purple rain.
Great work, Craig. Purple rain shirts, get around those. All right, guys, on that note, let's wrap it up, Oz, and we'll be back next Sunday. Maybe, is it Sunday? Sunday, Saturday? Don't know yet.
Don't know yet.
Hopefully
Okay,
it's Saturday night, probably Sunday afternoon, no doubt. All right, see you guys.
See you guys.